While most of you have heard of the term dyslexic, few of you probably know enough about this disability to successfully help children work through this setback. However, awareness must be spread about this disability due to its prevalence in today's world. According to Austin Learning Solutions, about 1 out of every 10 people have some sort of form of dyslexia. The likelihood that you have a child in your classroom with dyslexia is very high. In order to be prepared to teach dyslexic students, you must understand what dyslexia is, how to identify it, and the best way to help students overcome it. First off, what exactly is dyslexia? Dyslexia is described according to LD Online as a language-based learning disability. Now, this statement makes dyslexia seem very broad and not very concrete. That would be correct. Dyslexia is a disability that exhibits itself in different cases depending on the person. However, the main symptoms that every dyslexic person will experience is difficulties in connection with reading and language. This may display itself as trouble with word spelling, word pronunciation, writing, and reading fluency. Dyslexia, like most learning disabilities, can range from mild to very extreme cases. Unfortunately, dyslexia is a lifelong condition and will affect the child beyond their grade school years. Now, how exactly is dyslexia identified in a student? It's important that no struggling reader is left behind. Colin Brander Ricketts and Brad Moore pointed out that identification methods must be sensitive enough to detect all children who are at risk of developing reading difficulties. The first step to identifying if a child has dyslexia is to check if the child is reaching the benchmark level for reading and writing. If not, extra and individual instruction should be implemented immediately. If the child does not progress at the desired rate, a learning disability such as dyslexia may be the underlying cause. The next step would then to give the child a comprehensive evaluation. The assessment would include various tests that will help to decipher whether dyslexia is the cause. This evaluation will test receptive and expressive language skills, phonological skills, including phonemic awareness, and also a student's ability to rapidly name letters and names. Receptive means listening. Once the child is diagnosed as dyslexic, what is the best way to help them to overcome it? While dyslexia will always be a struggle, there are certain strategies that will help a child achieve success in the language arts. The best way to help a dyslexic student is by giving them one-on-one tutoring to give them immediate correction and feedback, as well as letting them have the freedom to progress at their own pace. Another strategy that is very helpful is using teaching that appeals to the 3 main senses: touching, hearing, and seeing. Another key to help the dyslexic child is by putting a heavy focus on phonics. In order for the dyslexic child to succeed in school, teachers, school, support staff, tutors, and parents must pour a lot of time and energy into their academics and education. However, this battle is well worth fighting for the sake of the child's future. Now, you might be thinking, why does all of this matter? How does it affect me? Well, as we discussed before, 1 out of 10 people experience dyslexia. We must be prepared to deal with these students in our classrooms. Many of these students feel hopeless and are quickly being turned off to the idea of education as a whole. Many of these dyslexic children are brilliant, yet must face this huge obstacle in order to live out their full potential. I challenge you to take this information and apply it to your future job as a teacher. Be an advocate for the dyslexic children in your classroom. Encourage them, give them the extra time and help, and most importantly, don't ever let them quit. Now that we have discussed dyslexia at length, let's discuss a higher order thinking question. Now, many dyslexic children face bullying in the classroom due to their struggle to read and delayed academic progress. How will you deal with this in your classroom? How will you make the dyslexic child's fellow classmates understand what dyslexia is?